Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
Did I say Yaleh Veyavo? I don't remember. What is the halacha? What is to be done if after davening Shacharis or Mincha on Rosh Chodesh, one is unsure if he said Yaleh Veyavo or not? Does he have to repeat Shemona Esrei, or does he fulfill his obligation, giving him the benefit of the doubt? So before we begin our discussion on the subject, we first must clarify that although the law is that if you forgot to say Yaleh Veyavo by Shacharis or Mincha of Rosh Chodesh, that you must repeat Shemona Esrei or go back to Ritzei if you remember prior to finishing and taking 3 steps back. Nonetheless, by Shacharis, this only applies if you remember prior to davening Musaf. However, if you already daven Musaf and then realize that you didn't say Yaleh Veyavo in Shacharis, then you do not repeat Shemona Esrei of Shacharis. And certainly the same would apply here if after Musaf you entered a doubt, did I say Yaleh Veyavo in Shacharis, that you would not repeat Shemona Esrei of Shacharis according to any approach. So now that we have that rule clarified, let us discuss the main issue. It's prior to Musaf or it's after Mincha. I don't remember if I said Yaleh Veyavo. Do I have to daven again? So we have a few counter arguments here to obligate or exempt one from repeating the davening. On the one hand, we have a rule, Safek Brachas Lahakol. So if you're in doubt, assume that you said it in order so you don't say a blessing in vain. On the other hand, we have a rule that a person usually follows his normal tongue, his habitual form of language. And since habitually we do not recite Yaleh Veyavo in Shemona Esrei, perhaps we can assume that if you're in doubt, then you didn't say it. Practically, we find in the Poskim a major debate on this issue. Some Rishonim and Poskim rule that if you're in doubt as to whether you said Yaleh Veyavo in Shacharis or Mincha, then we assume you said it and you fulfill your obligation and you don't return to Ritzei and you don't repeat Shemona Esrei. So was the ruling of the Ramah in Shulchanaruchharav chapter 422 halacha 1. So was the ruling of the Kolba in the name of the Yerushalmi, and so rule other Poskim. The reason for this opinion is because A, you're in doubt, and B, we never pass 30 days without saying Yaleh Veyavo because Rosh Chodesh comes every 30 days. So you've never established a 30-day chazaka of not saying it. And therefore, the argument of saying, well, your normal tongue is not to say it, falls through. So since that argument falls through, it's a true safek, and we rule safek brachas lahakol, and therefore you don't go back or repeat Shemona Esrei. Nonetheless, the vast majority of Poskim completely argue and negate the above approach, and say that there's a clear rule from the Talmud, from the Yerushalmi, and it's brought in Tosfos and many other Rishonim, that we always assume you say your normal tongue, your normal words that you say every day. And since majority of the year we don't say Yaleh Veyavo, we assume you didn't say Yaleh Veyavo. And therefore they all rule that you have to go back to Ritzei if you remember before finishing Shemona Esrei, and you must repeat Shemona Esrei if you remember it only afterwards. So is the ruling of the Beis Yosef in chapter 422 in his commentary on the Torah, arguing on the Kolbei. So rules the Magen Avram 422:4. So rules the Rekeach. So is the implication of the Yerushalmi in various places. So rules the Rashba, the Pri Chodesh, the Yerabba, the Tzemach Tzedek, the Maimer Mordechai, the Chidam Birkei Yosef, and Kesher Gudal, the Shari Tshuva, Chaya Adam, the Derech HaChaim, and so concludes the Mishnah Brura, that so is the halacha, as majority, if not all Achreinim, argue in the Ramah and rule as above. Meaning, although normally we say Safek Brachas Lahakol, we have a dispute, so let's be safe regarding brachas. In this case, the opinion that requires the repetition is so enormous and so vast a majority that it completely negates the minority approach of the Ramah. And practically, this is the final halacha, that one is required to go back to Ritzei and repeat from there, or repeat from the beginning of the Shemona Esrei if he did not remember till its conclusion. Nonetheless, despite the above, we have a final arbitration recorded in the Nesiv Chaim as well as the Kaf Chaim, which is to assist one to go in accordance to all opinions. What is the arbitration? That one should simply finish Shemona Esrei if he entered the doubt in middle, and then repeat Shemona Esrei again as a Tnai Nadava, which means as follows: that prior to repeating my Shemona Esrei, I say, if we hold like the opinion that I have to repeat Shemona Esrei, which is the main opinion, then this is a Shemona Esrei of obligation. Well, if I hold like the first opinion, the Ramah says you don't, then this is just a Nadava prayer. And hence we end up going according to all. Now, what does one do on Shabbos when it is forbidden to daven a Tfilas Nadava? If Rosh Chodesh falls on Shabbos and you don't remember if you said Yaleh Veyavo in Shacharis before Musaf or in Mincha, should you repeat it or not? So here, certainly, since the main opinion follows, the majority of Poskim will say you did not fulfill your obligation if you're in doubt. Therefore, certainly you should repeat the Shemana Esrei, not as a Nadava, but as an obligatory prayer, being that this is the main opinion, and this is the opinion of the Tzemach Tzedek. And we only do it as a Nadava, as an added security during the weekdays that we are able to do so and follow according to everybody.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.